Second, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace here on YouTube, Instagram, X, and Facebook. So we could see an active day a little bit later. This morning, there have been a few pop-up showers, but nothing too organized. Here's a look from the Plano cam, and you can see how the clouds are looking a little darker today and a little more organized moisture than what we had yesterday. Nothing really developed yesterday. There was a pretty good lid of warm air on top of us, and that kept us from seeing any thunderstorm development. But today, I don't think that's going to be the case. That lid is going to break. We've got an approaching cold front, and therefore it's going to help trigger showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, and some of those could be a little bit on the rough side. Let's hope not, but it is a possibility today. So I want to get into that first and foremost about the severe weather threat. We'll take a look at it from the get-go here this morning, because it is important that you know what to expect as we go through the day. Here's a look at the severe weather outlook as outlined by the Storm Prediction Center. And as you can see, pretty much the entire state of Kentucky is under the yellow level 2 slight risk for severe storms this afternoon. Anything that forms this morning should not be severe. There may be a strong thunderstorm or two, but we've got to wait on some daytime heating here and the approaching cold front, which is kind of laying along the Ohio River this morning. And that is going to be the trigger for any of these storms. And as you can see, it takes in a pretty good area. I'm hoping that any storms that do form today would just be more of the variety. Excuse me, I'm still dealing with some of this upper respiratory stuff. Would be more damaging wind threat, heavy rain threat, lightning. The tornado threat, which we'll check on here, is not all that high today. In fact, here it is. And as you can see, only the far western part of the state, barely in the green here, 2 to 4% chance. Pardon me. Again, this stuff is just, I think it's just about over, but it's been hard to shake off. But anyway, as you can see, it's on the low end of the scale. So I know you're concerned about what you saw in Iowa yesterday and last night about tornadoes. That's there. That's not here. We're not looking for that to happen here. This is going to be more about heavy rain, potential for damaging wind. In fact, let's look at the wind outlook here. Damaging wind outlook or severe wind outlook, and you can see that same area, level 2, is where they have the damaging wind threat, including Bowling Green and much of southern Kentucky. 15 to almost 30% chance that you could have damaging winds from where you live to 25 miles around you is how they do this. So that is the outline. And these would be straight line winds instead of twisting winds. So with any, I'm looking at any thunderstorms that pop up this afternoon could be the downburst variety, which because of the high moisture content that is here, any storms that form, those winds could force themselves down to the ground with the very heavy rain, and that's what would cause some problems from damaging wind. And then there is a hail parameter here. We're looking at for the Bowling Green area and 2/3 of the state in the low end hail threat, 5 to 14%. The higher threat for larger hail would be back into western Kentucky. So that's the breakdown today of the severe weather threat. Again, I want you to know that this is not going to be a situation like what they saw in the upper Midwest and the plains yesterday and last night um, for the threat of tornadoes. Small, almost non-existent threat for tornadoes, but we can never say zero threat. Uh, but the threat for a tornado is small. It's going to be more about wind driven rains, torrential rains, the kind that blind you if you're driving and you just can't see. And then the winds that come down out of those thunderstorms are going to be just forceful, that it can, knock over trees and, maybe a tree hit a power line or something like that. It would be quick, then it would be out of here. That's what I'm looking at to happen today, this afternoon, and this evening across the area. So I just wanted you to be upfront with the understanding that that's what we're facing today, and not a tornado threat necessarily. All right, let's take another view. This one's from the AAA Systems downtown weather camera from Reservoir Hill. And you can tell, just like the Plano cam, that we've got some sun, but it's a very cloudy atmosphere. And there have been a few renegade showers out there this morning, but nothing that is too organized or anything of significance. Between now and say 2, 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, it's going to be fairly quiet. There may be a shower or thunderstorm that pops up somewhere, but I'm not looking for anything too significant between now and then. All right, let's take a look now at the maps. Here's a look at the winds and the fronts and all of that this morning. South winds coming in at about 10. It is going to be another breezy day, as the winds will also be coming from the south and southeast, 10 to 20 at times, and gustier with any thunderstorms that develop. We've got the pressure, sort of a pressure gradient going on. The front is just laying right across the Ohio River this morning. Radar is depicting, as you can see, mostly up towards Cincinnati. Are we seeing thunderstorms? They're all moving east into southern Ohio. Pretty good downpours of rain with this, some lightning. Here's where the more significant weather is taking place this morning. Strong thunderstorms, Oklahoma City, Tulsa to Joplin, Missouri, and then more up toward Topeka. Iowa is in the quiet right now, thank goodness, because they were hit from end to end yesterday with tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings, and just some very large, deadly tornadoes. That one in Greenfield, Iowa yesterday very well could be classified in EF5, which is the highest on the scale, which is a rare thing to happen. We will find out probably later today about that one. Here's a look at the clouds. High definition clouds this morning, scattered clouds, some sunshine, and it's these holes that open up that is going to allow, the sun to heat up all this available moisture. There's a ton of moisture content in the air, but the last few days, that moisture has been capped off. A lid on the atmosphere has prevented any thunderstorms from forming, but that will not be the case today. I think that lid is going to come off because of the cold front that's back here to the west, and that front is going to be the trigger, and little outflow boundaries could also be a trigger, and the heat itself could also trigger those thunderstorms this afternoon, which could be potentially strong to severe. So it's just a matter of time, I think, before these things start to pop off, but more so during the afternoon and early evening hours. Okay, let's go to the Kentucky Mesonet Network this morning. We'll check temperatures here at 7:33 a.m. and we're well into the 70s, and it's muggy. Ugh. I tell you, yesterday, I just didn't even want to go outside, even just to go to my car. It's like, yuck. And then you start to break out in a little sweat, and then you feel like you cannot recover from the sweat. Even after you get in under the AC, it still feels like you're still sweating and you're sticky. It's just, ugh. But look at this, already 75 here in Bowling Green. Lots of mid 70s around us. Dew points, and here's the reason why it feels sticky. Low to mid 60s. Some of these dew points today will go into the upper 60s. And over the next few days, maybe even in the 70s, which is, it's rare when that happens. But the moisture content is so high that it's likely to do that. Pardon me while I get to talking and my nose starts running. It's just
so ewy.
It is.
Ew.
It did it last night while I was on television as well. And I'm trying to talk and do the weather. And I'm like, I'm on camera. I hope nobody sees the snot that is running down my nose.
So ewy.
I know. I'm sorry. All right. So the winds this morning are coming up out of the south at 5 to 10. It is going to be breezy again today like it was yesterday. Here you can see some of the breezes already around 15 miles per hour. So we've, it's going to be, at least you had a bit of a breeze yesterday when you went out to the polls to, on election day. At least there was a breeze there that made it feel maybe a little more tolerable, but it was still rough. All right, let's move on to the maps. We'll see what's shaking there. First of all, the blend of models, the model blender. It's going to be quite seasonable and even above average on temperature for the next several days. 83 to 85 is what I'm going with today before the thunderstorms roll in this afternoon. Then we go near 80 or low 80s tomorrow. Next few days will be low to mid 80s and more thunderstorms as we get into Sunday, or really every single day this holiday weekend will be with rain. It may not rain the entire time, but the risk or the chance of rain will be there every single day after today, even into next week. Relentless, the rain chances. And here's the thing, the rain could really come down hard and cause some minor flooding issues. And the waters are already up from the rains that we had last week. So it's not going to take much water to cause some more issues with flooding. That is my number one concern right now. Not tornadoes, not damaging wind, but flooding, high water. It's going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem through the Memorial Day weekend. Go ahead and make your plans. As you see, the temperatures are going to be, perfect. But it's just these round upon rounds of rain that are going to come continuously that is going to make it difficult for you to go through and keep your plans for a cookout, a camp out, going to the lake. You're going to have to factor this in. You're going to have to plan around the weather this holiday weekend. It's not going to be sunny. There will be times when it's sunny, but there are going to be more times when it's rainy and stormy. It's not good. Upper 70s to low 80s after that. So I wish I had better news for the holiday weekend, because I know you guys want to get out. It's the unofficial kickoff of summer. And I know you want to get out there and have some time on the pontoon or, do a camp out or cookout or whatever. go to our state parks and have some fun and things like that. But you can still do it, but I would have the News 40 weather app. I would have a weather radio. I would have something with me to keep me informed as to the changing weather, rapidly changing weather. All right. Here's a look at the maps now, and we can see that we've got a pretty good area of showers that will kick off this morning. There's the front. Again, kind of along the Wabash and Ohio rivers this morning. As we get into the afternoon, more scattered showers and thunderstorms becoming a little more potent because of daytime heating and the proximity of that front acting as a trigger for these storms. And as you can see, there's a red zone west of Bowling Green. This is where the better setup is for severe storms around the area of low pressure in the front that is going to stall and just kind of wobble back and forth over the next several days. It's not going to come completely through. So as it sits there back to the west, it's just going to crank out more and more rain. Here we go into early tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Notice the front does not move until we get into tomorrow afternoon. Then it still stalls, and waves of low pressure will ride along that front. And every time one passes by, it just wrings out the atmosphere that much more. Then it retreats back to the north as a warm front. Here comes more severe weather. This is Thursday evening into Friday. Look, more thunderstorms. Saturday, more showers and thunderstorms. Notice the same front hasn't moved all the way through Kentucky. It's still back here. It just comes in, goes back out, comes in, goes back out. It's like a wave. And that's exactly what's happening. It's a wave in the atmosphere that just gets wrung out of all the available moisture, and it just dumps on us. More severe weather Sunday. We could be a part of that as well, even though we're not painted in the red. We're already looking at a severe weather setup for Sunday. And here's Memorial Day, Monday, storms, rain, some of the rain heavy. That front still not coming through. Here we go into Tuesday. Finally, by Tuesday of next week, the front passes through the area. It is going to take all weekend to get that front completely in and out of our area. So I've got to leave in a chance of rain every single day for the next 6 days at least, maybe even close to 7. It may not be till next Wednesday before we completely get rid of that system. It's just going to sit there and sit there and sit there and dump and dump and dump rain. So again, that's going to be the number one threat. Even though we have severe weather threat in there for today and again on Sunday, the number one threat is going to be high water. So keep that in mind, because a lot of you will be out on the water for this unofficial kickoff of summer, which is Memorial Day weekend. Just make sure you've got a plan. You know where to go, know what to do. Download the News 40 weather app, which is right there in that circle. Just stick your phone, turn on the camera on your phone and stick your phone right up to that QR code, and a little link will show up there on your camera on your phone. Click that link and you can download the app and stay informed that way. All right. If any severe weather breaks out this afternoon, if any severe weather breaks out this afternoon, we will have it instantly on SAM 100.7. Even if the music is playing or commercials, it doesn't matter. The instant a bulletin happens, you can hear it right there. And then, of course, we'll have it on News 40. I'll update you tonight at 5, 6, and 10. And when you download that app, it'll be right here on your phone. And it'll ping you and it'll say, you're in the path of a severe thunderstorm or flash flood warning or lightning. It'll even tell you there's lightning close by. It knows your phone's location. And if your phone is with you, then you'll know. Okay. That'll do it for this update. Have a great Wednesday. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.